Hey guys, thank you for joining us on today's Take 5. I'm your host, Carla Salinas, and you're gonna want to stick around today. We're doing it all, from talking food to checking out the RGV's first paddle club. It's gonna be a great show. But first, did you know there's a place in Brownsville that provides quality honey to the RGV? Take 5 reporter Carmen Elena takes us there now.
Hey guys, I'm Carmen Elena, and we are inside the home of Glenn Simpson, who is a local beekeeper, and he's going to tell us how his bees are busy making honey for the Valley community. Bees are one of the planet's main pollinators, and they play a major role in sustaining our ecosystem by helping plants to reproduce, to give us a variety of fruits, nuts, and vegetables, which we can't live without.
To produce honey, you have to start with a strong beehive.
Glenn Simpson, owner of Baby's Honey, is one of the few beekeepers in the RGV that harvest delicious golden honey in his very own backyard. Depending on the season, he can cultivate up to 1 million bees at a time.
The bees I have here at home are from two different sources. One is I'll get nukes, which is a nucleus hive. It's a small hive, and then I expand it to become a functional operational beehive. The other is sometimes I'll do removals where people have bees in their house, and I'll go remove the bees and get them to establish inside a small hive.
Glenn also sells bees in the springtime to people that want to become beekeepers and offers classes on how to properly care for the bees. Did you know that bees travel 3 miles and sometimes more to find food, water, and pollen? They bring that to store it inside their hive. So how do the bees find their way back home?
Bees have several ways to identify how to get home. They recognize landmarks, they recognize different trees in different locations. And when they get real close to the hive, they can also smell the pheromone from their queen. Each queen has a different smell, so they can identify which is their home, even if they're side by side with other beehives.
The type of honey, the taste, and the color will be determined by the plants that are blooming in the season when the honey is harvested.
The weather affects the type of honey and how much honey you get. If we have a cold season and wet season one year, they'll produce one type of honey because you'll have different trees and different plants blooming than you will if it's a dry, warm season.
It takes 1 to 2 weeks for bees to fill up a hive with honey, which allows Glenn to fill up plenty of bottles to sell at the farmers markets.
When I harvest honey, I only take the excess honey that they don't need. I always leave plenty of honey in there for the bees to have available.
Eating raw, unfiltered honey from your region has many health benefits. Honey has pollen and other probiotics that help relieve allergies and improve the digestive system. So making honey a daily part of your diet is a great idea. If you want to try this delicious local honey, you can find Glenn at the Brownsville Farmers Market every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. For Take 5, I'm Carmen Elena.
Today's Taste of the Valley is a little bit different. We invited RGV food influencer Ivana Mendoza because she has literally tasted the valley. Ivana, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me and inviting me over.
So how did you get started on this food influencer journey?
So it was a process that I never thought would develop to where we are now, right? I studied marketing and public relations, and I've always been a foodie, always liked to try different things. And I just decided one day to post a video on TikTok because I have a lot of food content. I'm the one that my camera eats before I eat. And it just kind of took off from there and started being more involved into it, taking it more seriously, and just decided to show all the types of food I really, really enjoyed, other than just like Mexican food, but all types of food, all culinary areas as well. That way we can all try something different.
Yes, and speaking of that, we all really do want to try something different.
Yes.
So we got to ask, you've been going to a bunch of different restaurants, and what is your favorite restaurant in Mission, starting in Mission?
Mission. So there's this amazing bakery. It's like a sweets and bakery
Ooh.
spot. It's called Your Sweets by Casey. I absolutely love that Bakery. It's really, really good. It's right there in Mission.
Wait, is that the one with the cheesecakes?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, everyone's talking about that right now.
Yes.
So what's your favorite thing to get there?
So they have so many different things. They have like a little s'mores pie. They also, the cheesecakes are amazing, but the cheesecake of like, it's almost like a Duvalin flavor. It's really, really good. And then they also have what's called little muffins as well. I have like Oreo and red velvet. So it's like amazing mixtures of different things. And tiramisu is amazing.
Okay, so now we're moving on up. What about in Edinburgh, for our viewers from Edinburgh?
In Edinburgh, so there's like 2 spots I really love going to. One is Queenie's, which is like Savage hot dogs. They're different. They're not your usual hot dogs, right? They have different toppings. They have hot Cheetos. They make like a taco dog and pink quesadillas.
Oh my gosh. I feel like every single weekend we've mentioned hot Cheetos in one way or another.
Yes.
It's just such a 956.
Yes, it is. If you're from the Valley, you're definitely a hot Cheeto girl, whether you like it or not.
Exactly. Okay, so I've actually tried Queenie's because they have a food truck here in Westlaco as well.
And they have a brick and mortar in Edinburgh.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's so good, so I can definitely attest to that.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, now moving on up, what about our folks in Harlingen?
In Harlingen, I think Harlingen is really, really growing. It's up and coming. And I'm getting super excited because there's more things popping up here and there. One of the recent places I visited was Dos Olivos. It is amazing.
Well, you guys have to go out and try it. It was so good. Every single one of these restaurants sound amazing. So thank you so much for joining us, Ivana.
Yes, of
now,
course.
you guys can follow Ivana at
RGV Taste on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube.
There you have it. Thank you so much for joining us, Ivana.
Thank you so much for having me. It was really a pleasure.
Hey guys, well, welcome back to Empowering the Valley. This week we are at the historic Cine El Rey and I'm joined by Patrick Garcia. Patrick, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
So Patrick, you've been bringing down some indie artists to the Valley for quite a while now. So tell us about some of the work that you do.
I've been doing this for about 15 years now, and I'm a promoter and talent buyer. The majority of my work involves booking touring acts that aren't from the Valley and promoting and coordinating events down here in McAllen, Texas.
And so Patrick, today we're at the historic Cine El Rey, and I know that they struggled there for quite a while to kind of keep their doors open, but you were a huge help in doing that. Tell us about this experience.
Well, Cine El Rey is a historic venue. It was, opened in the 1940s to cater to a Latinx demographic, and it's kind of been my home base. I work at other spaces, don't get me wrong, but it's been my venue of choice for over 10 years now. So when the pandemic happened, obviously it was very difficult for a lot of promoters and venues, and it definitely struggled. I'm not going to take credit for for keeping it alive or keeping it open, but I think that once the pandemic started to become a little more manageable, and once, of course, the venue operators felt more comfortable hosting events, it was a primary, objective to host events here and try to stimulate the local economy as far as shows and getting more events in here. The Valley is geographically and politically overlooked a lot of times when it comes to touring acts. It's a difficult area to drive down to. If you look at the map of the country, we're like Florida. We're just so far south. And because of that, a lot of artists, a lot of agents, a lot of management, they don't think to book a smaller artist that is on the rise down here. It just doesn't make sense. Unless you're a huge act like a Bad Bunny or an Elton John, South Texas is not on the radar. So when it does happen, I think it's a win-win for the artists because they're playing to a new demographic, they're playing to a new culture, and the people down here tend to respond more passionately because it does not happen as consistently as, per se, an Austin or a Dallas or something.
And let's get into that. What sort of events are you booking?
I tend to lean into more alternative indie style acts. I have all sorts of stuff coming throughout the spring and summer. Some exciting stuff. I have Galoncho, he's a Mexican indie pop artist, coming April 2nd. I have Kevin Carl, another Mexican indie artist, coming. He's coming to the McAllen Performing Arts Center. That event unfortunately sold out 2 months ago. But if you have a ticket, which you might, we'll see you there.
Patrick, where can people find you and look out for these events?
You can follow me on my Instagram or my Twitter. It's at Puro Tigers Blood.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Patrick. Now, you guys at home, make sure you make it down to Patrick's next event. We'll see you here. Don't go anywhere. Our Made in the 956 Extra is coming up, and we're talking quilting. Plus, you have to see how Take 5 reporter Carmen Elena and I did at the RGV Paddle Club, coming up next after the break. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at take5.caretv to keep up with us throughout the week. It's a sport that's growing all over the world. The RGV Paddle Club is the place to go to let off some steam and hit the paddle court. Take 5 reporter Carmen Elena and I got to take a visit. Take a look at how we did.
Hey guys, we're at RGV Paddle Club in McAllen, Texas, and we're here with Sebas Arizola, who is one of the owners, and he's going to show us how to paddle. Carla, are you excited?
I'm so excited, but I have to be honest, I've never done anything like this before, not even tennis, so it should be an interesting experience. What about you, Carmen?
I've actually played a little bit of tennis, but I've never played this before, so I'm really curious to know. Sebas, can you tell us a little bit about what paddle is about?
Yeah, so pretty much paddle is, it's a brand new sport. It's growing all over the world. It's pretty much a combination of tennis and racquetball. So you have the racquetball walls all around, but at the same time you have the tennis net in the middle. So it's pretty much hand-eye coordination, not much movement like tennis, I guess you could say. It's very social, but at the same time super competitive. It's played doubles, so 2 versus 2, and it has all the tennis skills. Where you're using the racket to play, and the ball is very similar to tennis as well. The only difference is, the pressure, I guess you could say. The floor is a little different as well. It has synthetic grass with sand. That helps the ball bounce a little better. And pretty much anyone can play. It doesn't matter your age, how fast you are, or how tall, big, anything you are. Anyone can play. It's super fun. Like I said, it's social, but at the same time super competitive. So.
Well, and as soon as I walked in, I saw how beautiful everything looks. So tell me how this idea first came about.
There's no paddle courts in McAllen or in the Valley in general, right? So, we were really at a party one day, and I told one of my business partners, Pepin, hey, let's put some paddle courts, and he already had the idea with his family, and they were working on it. So we got together in the next couple of weeks. We started the project. A lot of hard work, a lot of time put in, a lot of everything put in, and it's finally done. As you can see, people are having fun.
Okay, so I see that you have a couple of courts here. What are some amenities that you have?
So, we're a full paddle club. So, we have the 6 courts where people can come play with the family and everything. We have the bar as well. It's snack bar and bar. So, before or after your match, even during, if you want to, you can, have a little drink with your friends, with your family. And then we have the full paddle store inside as well, where you can, purchase your racket, purchase your balls, your bag. So yeah, we have a little bit of everything. You can come play, you can come hang out. So there's something to do for everyone.
Awesome. Well, Sebas, where can people find you?
Yeah, so we're all over social media. So on Facebook, Instagram. We like to post stories. Of people playing. We like to post, upcoming events such as after-school programs, leagues, tournaments. Any other event if we're gonna have one.
Perfect. Well, what do you say we play a game? I know you mentioned that we can only play in doubles,
Correct.
So let's get someone else here.
Yeah, so I'll get one of my business partners, Hector, so we can play a doubles match.
All right, let's do it. Let's go. All right, so we're here. We're getting started. Now you're going to be my doubles partner.
Correct.
And Carmen's going to be over there with Hector. All right, what's the first thing we do?
Okay, so we can start a little match. We start with the serve. So behind the line, you gotta bounce the ball, and then that's when the point starts. So,
oh my goodness!
Now everyone is playing
Oh
against.
my God!
No!
There you go.
I hit it!
There you go. Good shot. Good shot.
it!
Okay, I bounce it.
You bounce it behind the line, and then you hit it.
Okay.
There you go.
Ah!
So I'll get it.
Oh my goodness. Where did it go? Oh.
Ready, Carmen?
How do you control where it's going? Like, how can you be like, Carmen, I'm passing it to you? Like, I don't understand.
Practice. Nice, nice.
Yes, that's good. That was good, Carla.
Oh,
Sorry.
we won! Okay, all right. Well, I feel like I got the hang of it, but this was so much fun. Sebas, one more time, where can they find you? Where can people book their session?
Yeah, so everything directly to the Playtime app. You can reserve your court, pay your court, and invite your friends to play. It's like an Instagram, but of paddle. Playtime app on the Apple Store and Android.
Well, thank you so much for joining
No,
us.
thank you for being here.
You guys were a great match. You guys at home have to come and try it out. We'll see you here. Coming up, our Made in the 956 Extra with Trey Serna. We're talking about the art of quilting and how you can get involved. Next on Take 5. Plus, a fun-filled event you're not going to want to miss. We'll be right back. We are back with Channel 5 News anchor Trey Serna for this week's Made in the 956 Extra. Every single Tuesday, Trey interviews some really cool people in the RGV and tells their story. Trey, today we're talking quilting?
Yes, so I got to talk to Ann Alexander, and she recently opened up Annie's Quilting Corner in McAllen. So the reason she opened the store up is to raise awareness about quilting. She calls it essentially a lost art, because it's something that gets passed down from generation to generation. So she wanted to open this store up to raise awareness about quilting and have some place where people can go and learn about sewing and quilting. And the coolest part is this week, this is the actual Made in the 956 Extra, is that you don't have to go to the store to get these lessons. You can do them on social media. She's working with someone right now to upload videos to Instagram, to TikTok, to Facebook, so that way they can spread the message about quilting and they can do it from anywhere in the world and connect with other people.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much.
Yeah.
As someone who's never sewn or quilted or something like that, this is so amazing.
It really
for when
is.
you have that downtime and you can just pop it up online.
It really is. And also, another thing, they're doing something really amazing for the community as well. They're also part of Stitching Angels. So they get together and they sew these quilts and they give them to DHR Health cancer patients. So they're giving back to the community and giving back to other people, learning how to quilt. It's just amazing all around. I highly recommend going to check them out. It's such a group of wonderful women. They want me to go learn how to quilt, and I don't know if I can, but I would definitely give it a try. They're an amazing group of women.
That's so amazing. I definitely have to give it my best shot.
Definitely.
Okay, guys, go ahead and check them at Annie's Quilting Corner on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Thanks so much for joining us, Trey.
Thank you for having me.
Coming up, the countdown to spring season begins. The City of FAR is helping us get out with the old and in with the new when we return. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at take5.caretv to keep up with us throughout the week. The spring season is coming and the City of FAR is celebrating with a fun, joyous, and colorful event. Joining us is Marcela Beas to tell us about this year's Holly Festival of Colors. Marcela, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us about what this year's event has in store for us.
So this is the second annual Holly Festival of Colors. It's an Indian holiday, and so it celebrates the welcoming of spring. We're gonna have it here in the City of FAR. We're very excited. It's a family event. It's an event full of, color, music. So it's a great time to come together, with the community and have the celebration. We're partnering up with the local Indian organization to bring this festival to light. We invite the entire community to join us.
So I was watching some of last year's footage and I really saw people, really celebrating with color. Tell us what that experience is like.
It's a really, really fun festival. It's a fun way to, like I said, welcome spring. So, it's the idea that we're leaving winter behind and we're entering the spring season with a lot of joy and just in a very fun way. So it's nice to be out there with your family, with just the entire community at large celebrating this great moment.
Why was it so important for the City of FAR to really host this event for the second year?
I think it's important to bring these kind of events to light and to give them the platform that they deserve. It's a really fun festival, and so we wanted to really, join the Indian community and help them bring this great holiday to life. Yeah.
So what should people do, Marcela? What do they have to wear? What do they need to know to be able to participate in this event?
Right, so the Holi Festival of Colors, our second annual Holi Festival, it's going to be hosted on March 4th. It's going to be in the City of FAR, William Arnold Park. It's on Eldora and Sugar. We invite the entire community to join us. Of course, white attire is strongly recommended because we're going to be tossing around colors. It's a lot of powder. It's really fun. You would definitely want to showcase it on your clothes. So we recommend wearing a white T-shirt. And it's fully washable, the color, so we shouldn't be scared to get a little bit dirty. It's actually recommended. And yeah, it's going to be, like I said, hosted on March 4th from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Thank you so much for joining us, Marcela. Again, this event is Saturday, March 4th from 4 to 6 p.m. We'll see you there. Thank you so much for joining us on this Sunday morning. We're back with more next week on Take 5. Have a great week, guys.